This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 12 in this series that comes out on Saturdays, where we're working on jamming or soloing in the pop, rock, and blues styles, which is so fun. In this lesson, we're looking at a new form, a new scale form for the minor pentatonic. Earlier on in the series, the first 10 lessons, we worked with the most common form of the minor pentatonic scale, and then alternatively, the major pentatonic scale that has the same notes. So I've got that form up here on the board, has that lowest root on the 6th string. In the last lesson, we looked at the form where we put that lowest root on the 5th string, and we learned how all we got to do is take everything we've been doing with this form that we're so familiar with and move it up one string, and we end up with a 5th string form. Well, in this lesson, we're going to look at the form that has the lowest root on the 4th string. So we take everything and move it 1 fret higher, and we're going to be working with that form, which is so fun. Also got a new backing track, so new chord progression, new jam for us to play over the top of. So let's just go ahead and get started here with taking a look at this new form. We know that minor pentatonic scale has the root, the flatted 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the flatted 7th. At least we've learned that, and maybe that's a little theory that you don't want to know about, and that's okay. You don't have to. You can just play and have fun by knowing where to put your fingers. We also know that when we add that sharp 4 or flat 5, we get that added note that turns it into the blues scale. So we've had our 6th string form, our 5th string form. Here with our 4th string form, we're going to have our lowest root on that 4th string. In this lesson, we're going to be jamming in the key of G. The new chord progression with the backing track that we're going to be playing with is in the key of G minor, and I got that chord progression up here on the board. So we need to learn this in the key of G minor, so we'll just worry about that. That G on the 4th string is at the 5th fret. Now this is kind of a trick. If you're really good with, say, bar chords or just knowing the notes along the bottom 2 strings, that's really helpful. So we have a G at the 3rd fret of the 6th string, which is where we would play this form if we were playing that scale. But when we go to the 4th string, all we got to do is go 2 frets higher and we can find a note, the same note that's an octave higher. So when I have C, I just go 2 frets higher and I've got it on the 4th string. So as we're looking for this form, we just know it's 2 frets higher than where we would play this form. And that can be a helpful thing as you're finding where to position these for the different keys that we play in. But we've got that index finger at the 5th fret of the 4th string. And I'm just going to go ahead and play it here without the extra note, just playing it as the minor pentatonic scale, not the blues scale. I would have 1, 4, 1, 3, and then I can go 2, 4, 2, 4. Or I can shift up and go 1, 3, 1, 3. So again, 1, 4, 1, 3, and I can shift up, or I can keep it with my middle and ring fingers, and then I come back down. Now I've got notes below that lowest root, and so I can continue down 4, 1, 4, 2, or I can shift up and go 3, 1 down there. But 2, 4, 1, 4, 1. So if I play the whole thing, you'd have 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, or you shift up, and then I come back down 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1. If I play that without talking, it would sound like this. Just like that. And we can go ahead and add that blues note in. If we do add the blues note in, we're going to want to shift up and use index and ring fingers instead of middle and pinky, or we'll have to shift up either way. We're going to catch that extra note with our pinky there. So if I do add in the blues, we've got the like that. Now, for me, getting used to these new forms, I just would play through them as much as I needed to just kind of know where the notes were. And then the best thing was just to start jamming with them. And so we've got all these backing tracks that are part of this series, and they're available on the channel. And we've played in lots of different keys and just different grooves and just different styles so far. Some more rock-like, some more pop-like, some more blues-like, some more folk-like even. So just a variety, but the same principle applies. Minor pentatonic works in those rock and blues settings, whether it's in a major key or a minor key, and then it always works in the minor keys. And so we're in a minor key this time. So because we're in the key of G, we're playing that there. If I wanted to jam over this one with this form here, I've got that G at the 3rd fret, and I could play that form that we've learned before there. And with the form that we learned last time, I've got that one at the 10th fret, because that's where a G is. So if you wanted to practice with this backing track and jamming with those forms in this new one, with this new backing track, you can do that using those there. Of course, we can also play with this new form over any of the backing tracks we've used before, and we just have to find where we would put our fingers. And we know that we just put our fingers 2 frets higher than we would for this scale, and all of those previous ones where we've used this scale is 2 frets higher, so that should help us out there. In the last lesson, we worked the key of D, and so D would be all the way at the 12th fret with this form. But let's go ahead, let's jam over the top of this backing track. It's going to have a G minor, and we're going to have C minor, you're going to have G minor, and D7. We're going to have G minor, C minor, D7, and G minor with a little bit of a little D7 turnaround here that'll sneak in when we're doing repeats. So super fun. We'll go ahead and just play along with this backing track. Like all the backing tracks, they are available for you to jam with without me playing over the top. There's a link in the description below that will pull up this one that we're using here in this lesson, so you can play along with it as much as you want to. You can find all of them on the Blues, Rock, Pop, Jam Along playlist that is on the channel as well. But let's just go ahead. Jamming together is one of the greatest ways that we can start picking up ideas. Just start trying to get inside of this form. As I'm jamming, I'll start out just playing with this new form, and then I may break out a little bit and go to the lower form and then to this one. Again, this one we can play in this key at the 3rd fret, root at the 3rd fret, and this one has the root at the 10th fret. So we'll just jam. We'll hear 1, 2, 3 on the hi-hat. There's one little beat of rest, some sort of lead-in material, but then we are into that backing track and we can just jam over the top. So let's do it. Awesome. I hope you're having fun with this. Maybe you got some ideas from me. You can listen to other artists, jam along with other artists using these scales. It's a great way to get fresh ideas coming in. Now, you may have noticed that this scale, those top 3 strings there, are really the extension that we've been using in relation to this scale. They sit next to each other. So when we've been playing that scale before, as we've done in previous lessons and come up for that extension, we've been coming right into this form, and you might have made that connection. If not, I just wanted to point that out. With that, we can see other places that you can slide from one form to the next. So this root is the same as that root, so I could slide up on that string instead. You might find it fun to go back and forth, kind of like I did as I was jamming there, between the 2 forms a little bit more. That may be something that kind of helps get some ideas flowing on how you can move between each of those forms, and some things finger better on one string than they do on the other. If you want to use this with some of the other backing tracks, I mentioned it's always just 2 frets higher than what we were doing with this one, but just to point out, we've played in the key of C. The C on the 4th string is 2 frets higher than where it is on that 6th string, but that's at the 10th fret on the 4th string. So when we got the backing track there, we would be at the 10th fret. D is at the 12th fret. So we've done that. We've played in the key of A, which is at the 7th fret. So that can kind of help you out in playing in those minor keys. And then, of course, we were working there in the key of G minor. So with some of those other backing tracks that we've used so far, this one will work with the ones that we used the minor pentatonic and blues scale on before. Not the major pentatonic, though we could, but we're going to be working major pentatonic later, just like we did earlier in this series where we learned the scale form and then we saw, oh, this can also work for major pentatonic. We just have to change where the root is. Same sort of thing happens with all of these forms that we're working on. So we'll worry about that when we start working on the major pentatonic. But we want to just jam out here on this minor pentatonic for a while. So those were the keys that we had worked in: C, D, and A. We've worked in those keys, and G. We've worked in those keys with the minor pentatonic scale, so you could play on those other backing tracks, get it happening, get that scale form happening with the various styles that we worked on as well. In the next lesson, we're going to look at the scale form that has the root on the 3rd string. We'll have a new backing track, so something new to jam along with. It's going to be super great. That'll come out next Saturday. Of course, we've got the jazz lessons coming on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we've got those Technique Tuesday and Theory Thursday lessons that really help supplement what we're doing here and in the jazz course. And there are hundreds and hundreds, really almost 1,000 lessons available on the channel. So check out those playlists. You can find help with lots of different things in relation to playing the guitar, and of course there's the method books as well. So keep having fun, take care, keep at it, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.